A brand new report that dropped while we were sitting here with the Washington Post White House bureau chief has more details on Robert Mueller's investigation into Roger Stone, his interactions with Donald Trump's campaign, and the potentially suspicious timing of WikiLeaks' release of hacked emails that hurt Hillary Clinton. So I'm going to read some of this. This broke while we were all here. The special counsel investigation into President Trump's longtime ally, Roger Stone, pressing witnesses about Stone's private interactions with senior campaign officials and whether he had knowledge of politically explosive Democratic emails. This seems to get at the heart of the collusion question. On Friday, Mueller's team questioned Steve Bannon, Trump's former chief campaign strategist, about alleged claims Stone made privately about WikiLeaks before the group released emails allegedly hacked by Russian operatives. This, Phil Rucker, seems to be the story that a lot of people were expecting that would confirm that Robert Mueller, who's already charged 13 Russians with a conspiracy to affect and impact the 2016 election, is simply looking for one more dot to connect the Trump campaign or Trump's associates to that conspiracy. This would seem to be it, the stolen emails and the timing of their release and their knowledge of that.
Potentially, and Mueller has really zeroed in on Roger Stone, the president's former political advisor, who had actually boasted about his interactions and knowledge of WikiLeaks, honed in on that. He's not only interviewed Steve Bannon, by the way, he's interviewed the special counsel team has interviewed other Stone associates, including Jerome Corsi, a known conspiracy theorist. That's according to this story by Bob Costa and others at the Post. And it just shows how much Mueller is doing right now. We think he's gone dark because there haven't been very many public announcements. There have not been many big, splashy indictments this fall, but the special counsel's office is very much plodding along, building their case, and there could be some activity after the election.
Roger Stone has said that publicly that he thought he was next in Mueller's sights, and it looks like he might have been right.
And Steve Bannon has been in before. I believe that's been reported, but by multiple news organizations. What does it say that he went back?
It indicates that, or it suggests, we don't know for sure, but it suggests that Mueller has gained new information that he needed to present to Bannon beyond the information that he had when he first interviewed Bannon, and it was months and months ago. This would be an indicator that the probe is obviously constantly getting more detail that it needs to corroborate with additional witnesses. One of the big questions that Mueller has been trying to assess with everyone he interviews is whether or not they're telling him the truth. And as he gets more material from different witnesses or people adjacent to any potentially criminal activity, that can inform his understanding of whether or not the people he's spoken to were telling the truth or not.
And I don't remember if it was reported when Bannon was in, but it's possible that Paul Manafort, who was in that Trump Tower meeting, flipped in between Bannon's first interview and this appearance
Bannon's
Friday, right?
first interview was long before Paul Manafort started cooperating with the investigation. We don't know that Manafort has given Mueller any information that would be relevant to.
But it's a variable. He's
not
cooperating.
Possible. It's certainly possible just from looking at the timeline.
It's just a reminder of how little we actually publicly know.
We don't know anything.
We've had like a fire. It feels like a fire hose of Russia Mueller investigation information, and the reality is that we probably have like a little droplet, and it's remarkable what could be.
Well, you know what? Don't rain on my droplets. Let me read a little bit more of them.
Sorry.
All right. So, but I just want to, we know so little. To your point, we know so much less. And to Mike Schmidt's point earlier, we know so much less about the collusion question than we do about the obstruction question. Right. The collusion question, though, is what Donald Trump denies every morning, seemingly randomly on Twitter. You know, it's the Caravan and Fox News, and by the way, no collusion, folks. I mean, it is his obsession, and this is a story that gets at what your colleague Carol Leonnig described it in the story a couple Mondays ago as the beating heart of the Mueller probe, this question of coordination, of conspiracy with the Russians.
That's exactly right. And, you know, the president has different definitions of collusion and conspiracy than Robert Mueller does. He thinks of, did he personally do anything?
Right. Did I call them and say, Vlad, I need you?
Yeah, Mueller is looking at the vast array of campaign officials, family members, others who represent Trump in some form or fashion.
All right. We are out of time.